My first question is getting through the discovery call. I really bombed a sales call. And so the client was sent to me for some software automation. And so we was going to automate her customer flow. And so I put together this full presentation and I was like, this is my company. This is who we are. It was like 4 slides. I was prepping her along the way to say, hey, I'll start first. This will tell you a little bit about me. Then we're going to go into you and you can let me know how you're feeling, what you're doing, and then I'll wrap up with some questions because I had some questions from our questionnaire. She said, okay, no problem, great. So we're getting through it. It comes to her part to say, hey, this is what I'm needing. This is who I am. This is my business. And I said, okay, awesome. I said, well, we can definitely come alongside your company. We can definitely discuss that, see what services that we can actually offer. We can streamline that for you. So I came from a point of problem solving up front. However, the lady that referred her said that there was no trust that was built and I kept talking about myself. And I was like, oh. And I was like, okay. She gave me room to explain the flow of it. I was told that it is more relationship building and not from a standpoint of, let me show you what I can do. Let me showcase, that of our expertise, but it's mainly hearing about the client. With that, I want to tweak my approach because I'm finding out that it is more relationship building. However, I'm having to turn my focus because I'm like, if I get on a call with someone, I definitely want to know what you do, what you're bringing to the table before I go any further. Like, I want to know who you're about. What's your company? What do you do? What can you offer? However, I am told, or I'm learning, that is not the way, anymore. And so I need to tweak that portion of my calls because I not only bombed the call, but I lost the sale.
Okay. First, I want to say thank you for everything that you shared and your transparency. You provided so much information, and this is going to be a powerful call and hopefully something that you can take away great value. The first question I have for you is, was that feedback provided from the customer, the potential customer, to the mentor or the person, the coworker, and then it was relayed back to you? Okay. So let's start from the beginning. I wrote a few notes and I'm going to start with the notes that we have. Oftentimes, how we feel, we will either assume other people feel that way, or the things that we may need, we assume others need that. So we will act those things out with the assumption that they're on the same page or in the same space.
Okay.
So assuming, we don't want to assume anything. We want to ask questions. So you mentioned that you were advised around listening, and that is 110% correct. This is why I started out with asking you a question, because you're going to share with me. I'm going to hear where you are. I'm going to hear underneath all of that what you're needing, and we're going to dig deeper and talk more about that. But first, I need to listen and hear where you are. In the discovery calls, the potential customer is going to do most of all the talking. The potential customer has already determined that you have something they need.
Okay.
They're coming to you because they have identified that you have something they need to resolve their problem. At that point, there's no convincing.
When you say that, that makes sense. You don't have to sell yourself of, oh, let me show you my expertise. Let me try to convince you. Let me persuade you to go ahead and buy from me. You already have either heard of my services, you was given the referral, you already know what I do from the referral. So you're already coming to me ready to tell me what you need because you already have identified that at least I have it. I have some kind of solution for you. So that makes sense.
Right. You're right. It's literally like resting in our value. We are valuable.
Oh, that's good.
Right? So there's no trying to convince someone of our value.
Okay.
And because of that, we are more valuable to that potential customer. They see us as more valuable because we have peace around our value. With that peace, with holding that space with that customer, we are helping the customer feel safe with the decision that they are getting ready to make.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
This is where the connection and trust is starting to be built.
Okay. That explains why she said that I didn't build trust. Because at first, to be honest, of course I took the feedback. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I bombed it. Let me work on this. But I couldn't understand that piece of when she was saying you didn't build trust. And I was like, oh no, I didn't build trust. I was transparent with my company. I let her see, what I do and who I am. How did that not build trust if there's knowledge that you can see? But now it makes sense. I didn't give them the safe space to just tell me everything that they needed to tell me. And so I didn't build the trust.
The customer to feel safe. In the discovery call, when the customer feels safe, it reassures the customer that working with you will be safe. In that discovery call, as I mentioned before, they've already determined that you have something that they need. Now they're trying to figure out where's the best place for me to put my money, my time, my energy, my investment, and for me to feel safe in regards to all of that. So our goal is to, of course, as you mentioned, to build that trust and connection and to reassure the customer that they are safe and help the customer understand that they are about to make the right decision. How do we do that? We do that by answering the questions the customer has, allowing them to speak, to hear what they have to say, and to dig deeper into their problem. How do you feel about the process of digging deeper into a potential customer's problem?
Time consuming because I only do 30-minute consultations. And it was almost like you are putting the solution before they actually buy from you. So you're like giving them the blueprint for everything. And it's like, well, if I give them everything, then they're not going to buy from me. They don't need me then.
Ooh, that's good. Let's talk about it. Okay. That is very common. People are afraid of giving too much before the customer buys. It is important to be as transparent as possible. Whatever question the customer asks, answer it with full honesty in that moment. It doesn't mean that you have to go and do, oh, well, let me follow up and get this for you. And, at that point, that action is what they pay for. The reality of it is they have the problem, they're looking for a solution, and they don't know how to execute the solution. So even if you tell them what the solution is, it doesn't mean that they can do it, and it doesn't mean they can do it well. A customer who maybe sets up a consultation with you and then attempts to go execute it on their own when it is a skill that is best for someone who specializes in it to do, that's not a customer you want, because that customer is not ready to experience your value. They're not ready. A customer who is ready to experience your value, one is going to value you, and value what you do, and is going to be fully aware of how important it is to have a valuable team in their corner. Your customer is here, right here with you, right here. They're not down here. We don't have to, hoard anything from them. They're right here. We can be very transparent with them. So don't be afraid of sharing too much in the consultations, it's just going to build trust with them, and they're going to feel like the customer knows that you're holding back. They know that, you know? And so when they know, it doesn't reinforce the trust.
Okay.
And
I can see that, because there are times when you go through webinars and you can tell when it's getting to the sales, because they'll give you like maybe 1 or 2 points, but then 3 through 5, you got to pay for the rest. You're like, oh, okay, I get it. So, okay, I can see that.
Right. We are holding space with the customer. We are not selling to the customer.
Okay.
A place where someone feels safe, people are more likely to lean into that if people feel safe, you know? And so the goal is that very thing, to create a safe space for them. As I mentioned, that will sell itself. The transparency, the safety, the trust, the connection will sell everything. Look at it like this. You've got 4 people who do the same thing. They all do website designs. You have a consultation with each one. They're all skilled. Who would you be more likely to work with? Somebody who feels good to work with. They can all do the job. That's who you want to work with. That is what solidifies the sale.